returned to his division and to his wife, and only occasionally wrote to his sons on large sheets of gray paper, scrawled over in an ornate clerkly handwriting. The bottom of these sheets was adorned with a scroll enclosing the words Pyotr Kirzanov, Major General. In 1835, Nikolai Petrovich graduated from the university, and in the same year General Kirzanov was put on the retired list after an unsuccessful review, and came with his wife to live in Petersburg. He was about to take a house in the Tavrochesky Gardens, and had joined the English Club when he suddenly died of an apoplectic fit. Agavoklea Kuzminishna soon followed him to the grave. She could not adapt herself to a dull life in the capital, and was consumed by the boredom of retirement from regimental existence. Meanwhile, Nikolai Petrovich, during his parents' lifetime and much to their distress, had managed to fall in love with the daughter of his landlord, a petty official called Prepolovensky. She was an attractive and, as they call it, well-educated girl. She used to read the serious articles in the science column of the newspapers. He married her as soon as the period of mourning for his parents was over, and leaving the civil service, where his father had secured him a post through patronage, he started to live very happily with his Masha, first in a country villa near the Forestry Institute, afterwards in Petersburg, in a pretty little flat with a clean staircase and a draughty drawing-room, and finally in the country, where he settled down and where in due course his son Arkady was born. Husband and wife lived well and peacefully. They were hardly ever separated. They read together. They sang and played duets together on the piano. She grew flowers and looked after the poultry yard. He busied himself with the estate and sometimes hunted, while Arkady went on growing in the same happy and peaceful way. 10 years passed like a dream. Then, in 1847, Kirsanov's wife died. He hardly survived this blow, and his hair turned gray in a few weeks. He was preparing to travel abroad, if possible to distract his thoughts. But then came the year 1848. He returned unwillingly to the country, and after a rather long period of inactivity he began to take an interest in improving his estate. In 1855 he brought his son to the university and spent 3 winters in Petersburg with him, hardly going out anywhere, and trying to make acquaintance with Arkady's young comrades. The last winter he was unable to go, and here we see him in May, 1859, already entirely gray-haired, plump and rather bent, waiting for his son, who had just taken his university degree, as once he had taken it himself. The servant, from a feeling of propriety, and perhaps also because he was anxious to escape from his master's eye, had gone over to the gate and was smoking a pipe. Nikolai Petrovich bowed his head and began to stare at the crumbling steps. A big mottled hen walked sedately towards him, treading firmly with its thick yellow legs. A dirty cat cast a disapproving look at him as she twisted herself coyly around the railing. The sun was scorching. A smell of hot rye bread was wafted from the dim entrance of the posting station. Nikolai Petrovich started musing. My son, a graduate, Arkasha, kept on turning round in his mind. He tried to think of something else, but the same thoughts returned. He remembered his dead wife. She did not live to see it, he murmured sadly. A plump blue pigeon flew on the road, and hurriedly started to drink water from a puddle near the well. Nikolai Petrovich began to watch it, but his ear had already caught the sound of approaching wheels. "It sounds as if they're coming, sir," announced the servant.